Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. So in this video, we're going to discuss Geeks for Geeks problem of the day, and today's problem is bit magic, and it is an easy level problem. So again, there was some issue yesterday. I believe that after some time, the Geeks for Geeks team changed the test cases and my code was not working as expected. So like there was one person who raised an issue on GitHub, and now I've completed it. I only came to know about this particular issue when he raised an issue. So I've corrected the code now, but again I'm telling you this, that there might be many cases when the Geeks for Geeks team changes the problem statement or the test cases or both at the same time. So you have to be careful. The only purpose of these videos is to make you understand the idea behind the problem, so that even if there are some minor changes like these, you are easily able to tackle those changes, right? And even if you see, you can check my commit history, you will see that the changes that I made were very small, right? There was just a variable here and there, and now the code was again working for yesterday's problem, right? So if there are any such issues, then like you are expected to solve or tackle these issues on your own. Obviously, please let me know about it, and on your side, please try to solve them on your own. And if you feel that the code was not working earlier, and after you made some changes, it is working now, you can always make a pull request on the GitHub repository. I'll be happy to merge your code. Just make sure that the code is in the same format as I posted. You need to make changes in my code, and then you can upload the code. You can make a pull request on that particular code, right? So I'll be happy to merge it, and if the solution is correct, obviously. So let's see what this problem statement says. It says that we have been given an integer array of size n, which consists of only zeros and ones, and our task is to make the array perfect. So basically, by perfect they mean we want to make it a palindrome, right? So the element at position I should be equals to element at position n minus I minus 1, right? So we are only allowed to perform the following operation. We have to choose two indices I and j, right? And we have to set both array of I and array of j to an XOR of array of I and array of j, right? We have to make their take their XOR and put its value in both of the places. Now we have to find the minimum possible number of operations and return the number of operations. So basically, let me just show you what this question means. First sample test case is 1 0 0 0, and the answer is 1 for this particular test case. So what you can do is, to make this a palindrome, you can choose these two indices, and the XOR of 0 and 1 would be 1. So it will be like this, right? And it took one number of operation. So like I believe till now you must have observed this particular thing, that for example we have some numbers that are different, right? So let's say these numbers are different. Now I can always take their XOR, and their XOR will be equals to 1, and I can make it a palindrome, right? So for all numbers that are different, I can take their XOR and make it a palindrome. But there is an issue with this particular approach. So let's say something like this happens, right? Let's say something like this happens, and I take these two and make their XOR like this. I take these two and make their XOR like this, right? So I'm able to make it a palindrome, but the number of operations required is 2. But instead, what I could have done is, I could have taken the first ones together and I could have taken their XOR, right? So in that particular case, the answer will be like this. The final string will be like this, and obviously the number of operation required is 1. So you see that this is, although this is a valid approach, the first one that I discussed, but this is not the most optimal approach. The most optimal approach would be, for example, there will be some zeros and there will be some ones in the string, right? So if two characters are not matching, so if you, let's say this is the middle element, we don't need to consider that. We only consider the left and the right half. Let's say some characters are not matching. In this case, all of them are matching. Let's take 1 0 and 1 0, right? So let's say some characters are not matching. The only way they might not be matching is that one of them will be 1 and the other of them will be 0, right? So I can just count the number of ones, right? Once I count the number of ones, so in this case there were 2 ones. So for example, this is 1, it is not matching with this particular 0. This is another one which is not matching with this particular 0. I can take all of these ones together and I can take their XOR. So if I take this particular element and this particular element, take its XOR, the final array will be something like this, right? So what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to make all the elements equal to 0, right? This will be the most optimal way. Why? Because I can take the ones in pairs, and if there is one extra remaining, so for example, if there are 3 ones, I can take this one in pair, and I can take this one separately. So I can make these two zeros, but for this one I cannot make it 0. So instead what I'll do is I'll take its counterpart. So obviously its counterpart will be 0. I'll make this operation and I'll make both of them with 1, right? So I'm trying to make all of them 0, but if there is a single 1 remaining, I'll make its counterpart and it itself both equals to 1, right, by taking their XOR. So the answer will always be equals to n by 2, and I will have to take its ceil value. Why n by 2? N is not the size of the array, n is the number of places that don't match, right? So this is why it always works, because if there are some places which do not match, then one of them would be 1, another of them would be 0, right? I can take all of these ones together and I can do their XOR. So in pairs, so what will happen is this one will become 0 and this is matching to this, right? After I have tried to form all the pairs, if there is only a single one remaining, and obviously its counterpart will be 0, so what I'll do is I'll take its XOR with its counterpart, both of them will become 1. So this is how you can make the string a palindrome, and you can do it in ceil of n by 2 operations, right? So the code is also very simple for this particular problem. Let me just quickly show you. So I have to initialize my answer with 0. I just run a for loop from 0 to less than n by 2, and for all places when array of I is not equals to array of n minus I minus 1, I just increment my answer value by 1, and at the end I just return answer plus 1 by 2. So let me just tell you, if you want to calculate why I have done it like this, if you want to calculate ceil of a by b, you can calculate it like the value of a plus b minus 1 by b, right? So this is the correct way to calculate the ceil value if you don't want to get into the double thing, because there might be some precision error. And if you want to calculate the ceil value of a by b, always use this method where you do a plus b minus 1 divided by b. So in this case b was equals to 1, so a plus 2 minus 1 will be a plus 1 divided by 2, right? So that is why I've taken answer plus 1 by 2. So I hope that this video was helpful for you, and I hope that you guys were able to understand the solution. Again, I'm saying it, if anytime the code doesn't work, please make it an raise an issue on GitHub, and if you're able to correct the code, take my code, make the corrections in it, make sure that the code is working, and create a pull request. I'll be happy to merge it in my code, right? So I hope that this video was helpful for you, and share this channel with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. It's always free of cost, and you can always unsubscribe later. So till the next video drops, keep coding, stay safe, bye bye.